I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And our Toastmaster tonight, Andrea Burton.
We're all number one.
Yes, we are.
We're at the cool kids table.
Fellow Toastmasters, what a celebration it is to actually come in on a beautiful day like this. Do you know that there are many celebrations happening today? One of them is Timor's International Day. Sort of like our 4th of July. Other places will take on sort of an Arbor Day to go and clean up their community. Or there's even National Rescue Dog Day, the adoption of rescue dogs, furry friends. Let us see if we can go and introduce our evaluation team today. I believe our reader Jokemaster, Mark Sizer, Tabletopers Master, Master, he is not here today.
You volunteered too, right?
No, that was for next
Time.
next time, but I guess I.
If anyone wishes to volunteer for that,
He may show up. We may have a few stragglers.
Dan's gonna
absolutely.
be about 15 minutes.
Yep, and we may have a few stragglers. So my general evaluator will be Anne. My first evaluator is Christine. I do apologize. I'm first. My second evaluator is Dwayne. My timer is Julie. My grammarian will be Evan. Listening master, our ever listening Pearl River. My awe counter, I believe Anton just came in. I believe so.
Sergeant Barnes usually pretty organized.
They don't have an ad. Oh, you guys are started.
Is there anyone I missed? No? At this point, I think I can introduce our speaker.
Word of the day.
Oh, excuse me, grammarian. Oops. Evan, by all means, forgive me, I was gonna go and introduce you here as our grammarian because I didn't know if you were gonna come in.
We'll behave over here, the children will behave.
Are you sure?
This is the first time.
Let's do that. Ching.
Oh.
Evan, please present us with the words of the day.
No, I won't. Well, if we are talking about celebrations and past, present, and future, I figured the perfect word for the day would be, and Debbie, I think this will be your kind of word.
I can't read it.
Did you get another pen? Can you read it?
Go ahead and continue.
Gathering.
Oh, okay.
Whether it's a past, present, or future, a group of people coming together with celebrations, have fun with birthdays, weddings, another type of gathering. Madam Toastmaster.
Wow.
Excellent. Trying to go down my list here to see if I need to do anything before I introduce our speaker. It's been a while since I've been Toastmaster. Finding a new company paradigm of a virtual environment that still encourages in-person contact can be a daunting challenge. Debbie volunteered to assist in a hub-wide engagement committee. After doing the initial interview, she was chosen to be the co-chair representing non-salaried employees for Rapid City Hub for Synchrony. The number of employees in the Rapid City area is over 350. Let us listen to what she has learned in the planning phase in her first 2 speeches in her Level 5 Persuasive Pathways using a 5 to 7 minute speech. How do we encourage teamwork in a diverse, mostly virtual office? Debbie Buckman.
How many of you like to be on camera? Well, some of you guys are great at that. How many of you think that us going back because of COVID, that we all get to work at home? Thank you, Mark. How many of you recognize that psychologists and psychiatrists have stated that working at home in your own little environment is the worst possible way of having any engagement at all? It's there.
It's hard.
Synchrony has over 20,000 employees nationwide. We range from India, Philippines, and across the United States. And we have hubs, areas that they try and have us all co-located. Rapid City was the first one to challenge them. It used to be you had to be within 20 minutes. We have people coming in from Gillette. They don't drive 120 miles an hour either. So Rapid City challenged that. And now we have this huge geographical area for Rapid City. And then COVID. And we all got sick. And we're all told to work on computers. And that we would be able to see each other on the computers. And that we would be able to have Toastmasters on computers, which means you don't move anywhere. And then they recognized that's great for the company. Think of all the money we're saving. And they had depressed employees. They had employees that said, I can't do this. In fact, some of the problems they had exponentially grew, including depression among some of our challenged people. So leadership said, we need to get together. Cool, I like that idea. And we need to have people that will go ahead and get us all engaged. How do you do that virtually? So I volunteered. Now I've got to learn. The military says, don't ever volunteer. I volunteered because we needed some involvement. We needed engagement, at least locally. Now, Rapid City's hub has employees that live in Kansas City, Phoenix, and Florida. They cannot come to our event. So leadership said, we're looking at people that are co-located, whether you're part of the actual group or not. And if you're in Phoenix, you get to go to the Phoenix hub. And if you're in Kansas City, we have a hub there. We have one in Canton. We have one in Florida, Orlando, Kissimmee. Yay. I don't get to go there. I volunteered. I've done this before for just our small group or our escalated support. This was going to be hub-wide. 350 people. I can help. I'll volunteer to help. I interviewed Debbie. First meeting. You're the co-chair. I go, what? You're the co-chair, and you're going to be representing all the non-salaried people, the ones that really work because we work for hourly, and we're not supposed to do overtime. So I volunteered. I'm part of the co-chair. What's really fascinating, the chair, who was exempt, he was my trainer when I started at Synchrony. So he and I worked together. And the first thing we said is, what are we doing? We're divided into 6 committees. The hub engagement. So quarterly, we have something major going on. We'll have a committee on MS chats, Microsoft Teams, to try and get people to talk to one another in chats. You know how difficult that is when you're answering the phone typing this and you're supposed to be answering your boss. But we're trying to encourage that. Another one is water coolers. How many of you remember water coolers in offices? And you're supposed to spend maybe a 15-minute break. We have that too. We have a 15-minute water cooler break. And we're not allowed to talk about work. We come up with different topics. Thought that'd be cool. No, I'm not part of that one. The other one was the employee voice and value improvements. I have no idea how that's done, so I said, no, I'm not going to be part of that one. Then we had engagement. We have a buddy program. Mentorship is big. That's what a buddy program is. We have skills chats. How do you use Teams? How do you use PowerPoint? All those are part of skills chats. And I'm a member of that subcommittee too. And if that's not enough, I'm also part of the engagement to try and get buddies and coaching. So the first thing we did is we planned it. 4 events. One of them is in person. We often use either the box out in Box Elder, or we get to go ahead and use the University Center, which is around the corner, for a person event. And we plan those. Well, what do? The bosses have said, try to avoid work. I don't know anybody anymore. I started in Synchrony in November of 2019. We went home in March, or the end of March of 2020. How many people can I meet in 4 months when I'm only on the phone and I get a 15-minute water break? Not many. So the purpose of our engagement is to get people to be involved, find fun things and games and activities and non-work. Well, we can spend about 5 minutes complaining, but the rest of it is to be on time or virtually. And we have set that as our goal. And that's part of our plan. Our report out comes in July. I'm not volunteering again, but we are passing the torch on. This month is our Spirit Month. And we're looking at how do we encourage each other. Through chats, through activities, we're going to have a quiz. And that's something that we've been working on together. And that's part of the plans that we have. Is it in writing? I'm glad that my chair does it, because I'm not taking the notes this time. More later.
This is also the lady that encouraged me to join Toastmasters, folks. And she's also been a very good mentor and grandmother to my kids. She also keeps me grounded as a mom. So I should be celebrating that as well. Gathering up my thoughts here today. There's also other celebratory things to do. It's getting warmer outside, as I mentioned earlier. I am celebrating going outside, starting my garden, or mowing my lawn, because that's one of my favorite things to do. There's also a very good reason behind that. No one can judge you over the screaming motor if you're screaming at it. It is my therapy. So if I start the lawnmower, just leave me be. I'll scream at the motor all I want. No one has to hear me. It is also the celebratory of spring, as you see. Rain and thunder just hit us not too long ago.
It's the first time I've heard thunder in a long.
Bringing flowers, bringing that much needed rain. So let's celebrate that today as well. Our second speaker for today is Mandy Hansen. She is presenting a speech that helps her learn everything she wants to know. Please welcome Mandy.
So this is my second speech. It's a speech with a purpose. And unfortunately, when we started logging in, I wasn't quite able to see the platform when I started this. So I think I might have gone a little sideways when I wrote it. So I'm hoping everybody will bear with me on my second one. I took it as a purpose for personally, and the purpose being how naturally I can speak to all of you about things that I'm passionate or know. So I'm piggybacking off of my icebreaker. If you recall, it's about my work and me personally and what I enjoy. So it's learning to pay attention is my title. Most people wouldn't connect the pawn shop, city government, and the outdoors. But those places shaped who I've become as an adult. It taught me about people, about systems, and about perspectives. Working in the pawn shop taught me how to pay attention to people. Don't jump to conclusions. That's probably a big one. Reading body language. Can you read mine right now? And another true aspect of it is adults don't always have it together. Desperation and pride in people is something hard to watch. But I also reap benefits from working in a pawn shop. My kids grew up knowing we don't buy things retail. Another item of the pawn shop taught me every item has a story. In your collections, your treasures you have now, enjoy them because the people that inherit them may not treasure them the same way you do or have the luxury to. Now we talk about my city work. What have I learned by paying attention there? People only notice when things are wrong.
Yes.
Yes. A quiet inbox, a quiet phone extension, those are things to pay attention to. That means what you're doing is working. It also taught me about invisibility and responsibility. There's not always the job behind every task. But again, that keeps my inbox quiet. Paying attention there in the city. The systems that are quiet tell you more. I'll just stop there for now. And then we go to the outdoors. That's the place that taught me how to pay attention to myself. What did I learn by paying attention out there? Peace, inner peace. Taught me that quiet resets me. All of these environments, the shop, the city, and nature, shaped me, some loudly, some quietly, and some without me realizing it at the time. For most of my adult life, I was being shaped without realizing it. Didn't expect it emotional on this part, but and now by paying attention, I'm trying to be more intentional about what we're becoming. I would like to do this one again. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Mandy, just for the record, you did very, very well. And there are points where we do have to be a little emotional in some of our speeches. We understand. I would like to go and introduce our reader Jokemaster, Mark Sizer.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. For those of you who haven't seen me do this before, I always try to pick something strange and usually old because they're harder to read. And every item has a story. This was given to someone in my family, no idea who, for Christmas in 1906. It's been sitting in a cupboard, actually in a box, for the last 25 years. It's Tennyson's love poems. I don't like poetry. I've never opened this book. So, let's see what we have, shall we? That's part 4, that won't work pretty well. From Locksley Hall. In the spring, a fuller crimson comes upon the robin's breast. In the spring, the wanton lapwing sets another crest. In the spring, a livelier iris changes on the burnished love. In the spring, a young man's fancy turns lightly to thoughts of love. Then her cheek was pale and thinner than should be for one as young, and her eyes on all my memories with a mute observance hung. And I said, my cousin Amy, speak, and speak the truth to me. Trust me, cousin, all the current of my being sets to thee. On her pallid cheek and forehead came a color and a light, as I had seen the rosy red flushing in the northern night. And she turned, her bosom shaken with a sudden storm of sighs, all the spirit deeply dawning in the dark hazel eyes, saying, I have hid my feelings, fearing that they should do me wrong, saying, dost thou love me, cousin? Weeping, I've loved thee long. Love took up the glass of time and turned it in his glowing hands. Every moment, lightly shaken, ran itself in golden sands. Love took up the harp of life and smote on all the chords with might, smote the chord of self that trembling passed in music out of sight. Many a morning on the moorland did we hear the copses ring, and her whisper thronged my pulse with the fullness of spring. This is quite long. Do you want me to keep going? Many an evening by the waters did we watch the stately ships, and our spirits rushed together at the touching of the lips. Oh, my cousin, shallow-hearted, oh, my Amy, mine no more. Oh, the dreary, dreary moorland, oh, the barren, barren shore. Falser than all fancy fathoms, falser than songs have sung, puppet to a father's threat, and servile to a shrewish tongue. It is well to wish thee happy, having known me to decline, on a range of lower feelings and a narrower heart than mine. Yet it shall be, thou shalt lower to his level day by day what is fine within thee, growing coarse to sympathize with clay. As the husband is, the wife is. Thou art mated with a clown, and the grossness of his nature will have the weight to drag thee down. He will hold thee when his passion shall have spent its novel force, something better than his dog, little dearer than his horse. What is this? His eyes are heavy. Think not that they are glazed with wine. Go to him. It is thy duty. Take his hand in thine. It may be my lord is weary, that his brain is overwrought. Soothe him with thy fine fancies. Touch him with thy lighter thought. He will answer to the purpose, easy things to understand. Better thou wert dead before me, than I slew thee with my hand. Better thou and I were lying, hidden from heart's disgrace, rolled in one another's arms, and silent in last embrace. Cursed be the social wants that sin against the strength of youth. Cursed be the social lies that warp us from the living truth. I think that's a good stop.
Now, I must question, you said you've never actually opened this book.
I've never opened the book.
Wow.
That's
Well, I guess we celebrated something today. Gathering up thoughts once more here. Do we still have table topics today?
I can do it if you need to.
Absolutely. If you have table topics.
Who's going to be my first guinea pig?
I know
No, if somebody doesn't raise a hand, I will pick you. Evan, let's go.
Oh my God. You know it's fine.
Yeah, well, it'll be fun.
Okay.
If you could live in any book or movie universe, which would it be and why?
Oh.
You know the answer.
Yeah, I think I'll like a guess.
What?
I could live in any movie or music. What was it again?
Any book or movie universe, which would you choose and why?
I'll go with movie universe. I would live in Star Wars universe. And I'll tell you why. Who's a Star Wars fan here? Most of us, all of us. But Star Wars is probably the best movie franchise of the whole wide world. Fun, has stormtroopers, Jabba the Hutt, creatures, the Sith, the Empire, Palpatine, and of course, Luke Skywalker. Other characters, Kylo Ren, Han Solo, Chewie, on and on. You know where to. Now, why would I live in this universe a second time? Is because it's fun. Imagine going on Millennium Falcon, going to fight the bad guys, or encountering the Sand People, or fighting Darth Vader in these ships. Now, who would like to do that? Yes, that'd be so cool. But the most important part is you would be in space for that. And don't forget, gotta pick the Death Star as well. Thank you, Mr. Tabletop.
Okay, who's next? Come on, come on, let's go. Okay, I just want to put you. What is your favorite way to spend a Sunday afternoon?
Watch Star Wars. I would like to spend my Sunday afternoons isn't exactly something I have concretely put down. It's something that's more of a vibe, as it were, as it's usually the day that comes before the work day. And that's usually more important. What do I want to try taking care of before I finally have to get back and slog through the work week? And so it's really up in the air. Sometimes I'm just going out doing some shopping. Sometimes it's just to go and take care of some groceries. But once in a while, just taking a break, relaxing, watching a few videos or something else. Not anything concrete, but perhaps that's probably what is best used for on Sunday. Yeah. Come
If you could relive any day of your life, which day would you choose and why?
Okay. Thank you for that question. If I could relive any day of my life, what day would it be? Why? Alrighty. I would say, so when most people think about the greatest day of life, there's a couple things they think about. They think about something that's either extreme happiness, they're going to extreme joy, not typically sadness. But for me, probably the most pivotal day of my life is where I got a chance to swim with a crocodile. And I was ready. So
I know that many people think that was happiness for a fear. I've never once experienced a being that wanted to, So how it worked was they had this thing called cage death, right? You're in this silver cage, and the Australians call salty, saltwater crocodile is there literally circling you, how to do it. And I am typically pretty terrified of crocodiles in general. So it's one of those things, faith, like, okay, it's one of the things you only live twice. Only live once. You do, like YOLO, right? So for this experience, you got to see there and the crocodiles literally circling me and literally staring me in my eye and wanting to eat me. So I would live that again just to experience that fear again and of being alive. And that's probably one of the greatest experiences, most terrifying experiences I've ever had.
I do. I got like 30 of them. That's the internet.
All right.
I think this one should be good. What is the weirdest food combination you actually enjoy?
Oh, enjoy.
Yikes.
That's a tough one for me because I always tell my wife that I came from a family of 10 people, 10 kids. So I tell my wife I'll eat anything basically. So I'm having a trouble thinking of that, but there is one thing that I'll tell you about that came from my wife's family. I think it was a mistake because the person who created this dish was a drinker. And I always make the comment that if our house ever burns down, I hope that it goes all the way to the ground so that I don't have to pilfer through trying to replace burned up sheetrock and all this stuff. And then I followed it up with saying, and the Rice Krispie hot dish recipe will be gone and burned up. So there's a dish that they make, and it's called Rice Krispie hot dish. And I think that Grandma was drunk but my mother-in-law went into the kitchen and she saw Grandma in there dumping Rice Krispies into the hot dish as a filler because they had a bunch of people. And I said, this dish would be yummy if you made it with rice. I think Grandma messed up and put Rice Krispies in there. So there's and honestly, I do eat it, and it's not a delicacy at my house. My kids love it, and Nancy loves it, and I tolerate it. And then I get teased very bad about it, and I wouldn't be sad at all if that recipe went up there.
Thank you very much, Jokemaster.
Good job,
Very well done, very well done. I'd have to say that after July 30th, 2020, any of those days would probably be my happiest. Because the 31st I got married, and then after that I had my 3 kids going in those years. So those would be my happiest days. I chose that question. By the way, Evan, would you be a Jedi, a Sith, or a scavenger?
Jedi.
Jedi? Okay. Figures we know the color of his lightsaber now.
I only have a Kylo Ren lightsaber.
All right. I believe I can now introduce our general evaluator at this point in time.
Thank you, Andrea.
And might I also just say one more thing? We are celebrating 3 birthdays with 3 of our own Toastmasters today.
They're all
From this week and possibly into next week. I believe Evan.
Friday.
Wayne.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I believe there's one more. Julie. All right.
Friday,
Saturday, thank you, Madam General Evaluator.
Well, that's.
Friday, Saturday, and Monday. Those three there.
Friday,
Nice.
Saturday, and Monday.
We've got,
The
and we've got good.
trifecta.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I'm glad I drove into town today.
Yeah, week-long party.
Hence why my theme for today.
That's why we got you a cupcake.
Oh, perfect. Okay, well, it's my job to evaluate the meeting. I did miss the first couple, so you guys may have to help me with some of the roles because I think they're different than what's on the sheet. The updated?
I kind of,
So we only had 2 speakers, right?
yes.
Okay. So, let's just start off with our first evaluator. Is it Debbie?
Christine is evaluating Debbie.
Gotcha. Okay, Christine, come on up and give Debbie.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator and fellow Toastmasters. This is going to be fun. My first evaluation in several years, so thank you. Using the evaluation form that we have, which is a really awesome tool, I just going to want to go through my reactions to your speech. And this is my favorite part of listening to great speeches, is you have a little checklist and it says, how did they do in everything? Exemplary, excels, accomplished, emerging, developing. So for Debbie, it was a really easy exemplary on all of these.
Thank you.
That was the wonderful and easy part. The challenging part is finding what I can say to ask you to challenge yourself and ask you to work on. So there were 2 things that kind of jumped out at me. And this might be because I'm kind of coming into this club and learning who everybody is and what's going on. I didn't ever catch what synchrony actually was.
Okay.
I have a credit card with Synchrony Bank, so I'm kind of assuming that that's what it is. Okay. So there's that. So you might want to work into
Making sure I do that.
at least a brief explanation for those of us who aren't aware of what's going on. Then the other thing that I would say to challenge is, according to what I have, this is the first speech for high performance leadership, correct? And the purpose statement is to explain your plan and vision. And I heard a lot of what the situation was and where you were going, and a very engaging speech on what was happening, but not a lot on the plan or the vision of what you were doing. So my challenge to you would be to be a little more concise on where you are now and do that, which was hard because the speech itself was amazingly engaging and incredible eye contact and interaction with everybody in the room. And I was fully in. I wanted you to go further. So maybe, you could use the DTM acronym and just say, don't time me.
I know that one.
Keep going and tell us what actually was going on. But overall, like I said, very engaging and wonderful speech and a pleasure to listen to.
Christine.
It's spelled right. Okay. Do you want that?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for that report. I have one more evaluator coming up to assess Mandy's presentation on her life lessons. Come on up here, Dwayne.
Thank you. Thank you, Mandy. I appreciate you signing up for these. And one of the things I really like, I noticed that when you were introducing kind of yourself, you were very comfortable, and then when you broke into your speech, it kind of got nervous. And the only way that that'll get fixed is to just keep coming up here. So you're very funny. There were several spots, three that everyone in the room laughed, and one of them was when you talked about people only notice things when they're wrong, and the invisibility, responsibility, and then even when you got emotional, whatever, I didn't write it down what you said right before that, but people laughed and you went right into into the emotional story. So you really do have a good sense of humor that'll be fun to watch that come out in your future speeches. One of the things that you actually had probably a whole manual's worth of speeches here, because you talked about body language. That's where they laughed at you because you said, notice myself up here right now. And we all can identify with that because we've all been right where you are. The other was don't jump to conclusions. You had that every item has a story. So I loved all of those topics, and the people only notice things when they're wrong. What I would suggest to do is to just take one or maybe two of those topics and then tell a story with it. Like, I would love to hear with your experience of everything has a story, and then give us an example, like the book that Mark brought up of going on. Tell the story. So Bill Gove was a famous speaker from the National Speakers Association, and he came up with the phrase of tell a story and make a point, and then tell another story, make another point. So you had lots of that going on in there. And tell a story, make a point. So you have it in you. You're very funny, and you have given us today a lot of topics that could be for future speeches. And if you need any help on that, there's several of us in the room that can help you flesh some of that stuff out. The biggest thing is just keep coming up here. Love to hear from you. Thank you.
All right, well, as we just keep moving along, I have Julie to come up to give her timer report. Please welcome Julie.
All right. Very good. All right. Being timer really is engaging. It's hard to listen very closely because I'm constantly watching the clock. It's like, what's going on? Okay, Debbie, 5 to 7. You came in at 7 minutes, 5 seconds. So great job. So that was really good. Mandy, 4 to 6. You came in at 4:49. So still within time. Very good. Evaluators, Christine, 2 minutes, 33 seconds. Perfect. Dwayne, yours was also 2 minutes, 33 seconds. And that's great. That never happens. Table topics, Evan, 1 minute, 8 seconds. Jake, 52 seconds. Antoine, right? 1 minute, 23. And Dwayne, 1 minute, 47. Great job, everybody. What a gathering.
Okay, so we just have the lineup of birthdays. So the next person I'm going to have you guys welcome to the stage is Evan the Story as the grammarian. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, come on over here.
Why I'm mad is because Andrea was the only one who used word of the day.
Yeah.
None of you did. Debbie, especially you.
Yeah.
Are you saying you gave me a pity victory? How dare you?
That's what mothers are good
Celebrations involve gatherings.
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of gatherings on Sundays.
Very good, Jake.
But there were some good sentences I did like. I liked your sentence of passing the torch. I did like that. That was nice. And Mark, your mute, observe, hung, that word, that was an interesting word when you were saying in the Jokemaster. Besides that, you all sucked. How did you guys not use it at all?
Slacking.
So gather all of your attention here again. Okay, next up, I've got Carl Morbach doing Listening Master.
We want to have our.
Correct?
Yeah, you don't want to be odd.
Welcome, Carla.
What was Debbie's title in her role at Sacred?
Co-chair.
Co-chair.
Big,
long committee. What device drowns out Andrea's screaming?
Yeah.
And children.
Well, what was the goal of Mandy's speech?
Tell us about her.
Purpose.
Purpose. Speaking from speech with purpose. Very good. What was Reader Mark's family book year? What year was that?
1906. Yeah.
1906. Who is Antoine's favorite swim partner?
A crocodile saltwater.
Was it 06?
It's actually 09. I said.
Okay,
You inverted it, okay.
Yeah.
change that around.
Gorgeous handwriting.
What was your swimming partner?
That's crocodile.
Crocodile.
A saltwater
Saltwater
crocodile.
crocodile.
Who has a birthday on Friday?
Evan.
Kevin.
26. Oh, so young.
Who has a birthday on Saturday, but we will not ask ages.
29 is no exact name, you would say.
We'll give her a hearty 21.
Yeah.
21 and holding.
29 and a few extra days. When is Dwayne's 60th birthday?
Monday.
Monday.
Wow.
I didn't say the date, but I said Monday. You said it.
Well, I know, but I could do that for him.
Yeah.
There are political correctness.
Yes.
It's
not Democrat, you're a smart man.
Well, thank you for the gathering today. I'll return to the floor.
All right, thanks, Carl. So my last person that I'm gonna bring up does not have a birthday coming up. But I wanted to point out that we do have 3 birthdays in the club, but there's one other important birthday coming up. So I've, in the past, given a presentation about my grandmother. And she recently moved in with me back in November.
Living at 100, right?
Yep, I think she's gonna make it to 100. She's not quite there yet, but on Monday of next week, she will turn 96.
Wow.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, so our last one is the off counter. Please help me welcome Antoine.
So here we go. This is essentially the gathering of
You're
both of
saying it
you.
way too late.
Yeah, still counts. Okay. So for Evan first, I know for the word of the day, you had none. You only had one, and that was on tabletop topics. So for you, Debbie, I got none. You got 0. For our Toastmaster, you had actually only one, and so it's only the second time you said it. So for Mandy, I got only one for you. Yes. Yes, you did really well on that. Great causes on those. For Mark, I didn't get any for you. Great job.
I was so
Yeah, that was so yes. Really good for that one. Brian, I didn't get any for you as well. Jacob, I got one. I got one for you on there. For me, I think I had an and I had a so. Remember those?
I know you know.
Yeah, you know.
I listen to those things.
Oh, thank you. That's perfect. Add that to the list. Alrighty. Then for our general evaluator, and over here, so I only got one for you.
Right.
Yeah, so really good. So Christine, I only have 2 for you. That's it.
Nice.
Lastly, for Dwayne, I only have 2, and those were ands. Yep. So overall, really good job.
Wow.
Thank you.
That concludes the end of our evaluation part of part of the meeting, and I just want to say that it was a really fun meeting. I appreciate we had such a large crowd and everybody participated, so it was really a lot of fun. And I love the topic of special occasions because you can just use that anywhere. So from now, I think I need to bring up Evan because he's our president. He's going to go run a meeting, I believe. Come on.
Yeah.